Hello, hello, hello. Hooligan Soccer Podcast coming at you, as always, for this FA Cup 5th round edition with myself, Gary Stryker, and as always, the Hooligan. Good morning, Hooligan. How are you?
The world has been better, Gary, so let's just leave it at that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. Well, in terms of trying to make it a little bit of a better place, obviously we'll be covering this weekend's FA Cup rounds.
Yeah.
We've also got, I know we've got MLS fixtures coming up as well, so we should be dropping an episode hopefully tomorrow on the MLS, just looking into those game weeks as well. But we will cover FA Cup as discussed. And as always, hooligan-soccer.com is where you can go to get the musings, the writings. You can go and check out our new merch store as well, which is selling like hotcakes. We've got quite a few sales have come through, which is quite good to see. But yeah,
sadly no flaming pintos. This is
we could have coordinated
this logo. This we couldn't afford the licensing from the American Museum of Tort Law. So
we could have coordinated and both worn our merch as well, but not today. But we will do it next time for fear of drowning out and some saturation of the merch. But anyway, okay, so let's get into this weekend's FA Cup fixtures. So Friday there is a kickoff, Wolverhampton against Liverpool.
That sounds familiar.
Well, it's Groundhog Day again. All of a sudden, I don't know if Punks and Tawny Phil has come out, but we had this one last.
I mean, they literally played Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
The result was unexpected, but
yes.
but the game itself did occur. So yeah, it does seem very odd when teams play each other in such tight proximity in two different competitions, but
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it happens.
So like air, as they say, right? So.
It does. It happens. It's this is actually the 5th time I think these guys have played each other, and this is also, I think it's the second.
And how long?
The 5th time they've played. This is the 5th time they've played each other. This will be the 5th time they've played each other in this stage of the FA Cup in the last 12 years. They keep coming up against Wolves, which is there. And
wait, they've met in the 5th round 5 out of the 12 years.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's odd. That's odd.
Well, that
is the likelihood of that happening. Wow. I can't even imagine what the punters would get on those odds. If you had 12 years ago looked at that and said, yeah, sure, Wolverhampton and Liverpool meet each other 5 times, and you would have gotten astronomical odds.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. And this is an interesting one. I know you,
and I'm guessing that Liverpool has come up on top.
Liverpool had the dominant one. Don't press me for that level of detail on the research as well. I didn't quite get down into that wormhole, but exposed once again, exposed by the Hooligan.
Just asking a question, man. Not trying to expose you. But, you left the door open for the question, so I had to go in.
I did leave the door open, and I'm going to firmly shut it now and move on to the next topic next point here. But it does feel we were talking through this, and all of a sudden, with Wolves' sudden resurgence in form, all of a sudden, I know they're a long way off in terms of that bottom place in terms of relegation. They probably are going to get relegated. However, as we are always fans of the underdog and the sort of fairy tale stories, is there a world in which they could crawl their way out from the depths of the relegation zone in the league? But at the same time,
hold on. This is an FA Cup podcast. Why
this
are
is
you
an FA Cup podcast? Because I am alluding to this, because then the idea is essentially that they will then go on and continue their form, and can they also get a good cup run form going as well to close out the season?
No, the answer is an absolute firm no on both accounts, and you are an utter fool to even exercise that possibility. No, I'm being harsh, but no. Wolves beat Liverpool. Yes, they're on a great surge of form. Wolves do not control their destiny. It makes no difference what Wolves do right now. Their fate is not in their hands. Their fate is in the hands of the 4 other teams that are above them. So in a way, this gives them a tremendous amount of freedom because nothing matters. They just go out and they play. They can go out and they just play. They want to give their fans something to cheer for. They want to for their own personal value as a player. go out and do the best that they can to maximize their ability to be sold. That is all that's left for Wolves. And if by some miracle they stay up, it will not be because of what they did. They will have to play their part. Don't get me wrong.
They will have to deliver a lot of wins.
It will not be because of them. It will be because of others.
Keeping this to the FA Cup, do you think there's a world in which they could get a second result against Liverpool tomorrow, and also
anything's possible? Anything's possible, but no. They always say, from youth soccer through the highest of fixtures, the hardest thing to do is to beat the same team twice. It's tricky.
It is hard. Yeah.
And even though they are still at home, they're still at home. All of that it's the same teams, will likely be the same starting lineups. Even with all of that, I don't think Wolves can do it a second time. If they do, fair play to Wolves. Great. If I was Wolves, I wouldn't, hold on. Let me rephrase. I was going to say, why would they care about this? And I realized, no, because lifting the FA Cup would be a tremendous boon. Monetarily, it'd be a boon. It would get them European competition, which would not be good.
Albeit in the championship.
If they get relegated into the championship, European competition would absolutely screw them. Mm-hmm. Because all of a sudden you would be looking at, holy crap, in addition to the 46 regular fixtures that you've got to play, you suddenly have to put in another minimum of 8. And if you make it, oh, Lord almighty, no, that would be the worst thing. If I was Wolves, I'd lose it. Save it. Save all of that good momentum. Save all of that luck, skill, whatever you want, fate. Save it for winning league matches.
Just winning league matches.
Just win league matches.
Praying that the other teams above them also go on a very bad run of form and trip and stumble and go from there, which is possible.
It is highly probable that some of these other teams may drop out. Their chasm was too deep, sadly. If there had been some light in the early stages of the season, something that had happened that had been positive and not just loss, draw, right? Whatever that is.
Yeah. You need to go on.
Then there might have been, then a late surge like this would have been a tremendous story. As it is, it's a story, but it is such an unlikely tale and I will say it again, and it will have nothing to do with Wolves. It will have everything to do with
they will still have to win.
If Wolves win out the rest of the season, that would just be a tremendous story unto itself. But they could still win out the rest of the season and still be relegated in 20th place. So it's when you put
damned if you do and damned if you don't.
No, but when you put your fate in the hands of others, it's never a good situation. It's never a good situation to be in when you're waiting on somebody else's result for something.
Here's another world in which here's another scenario. Okay, let's just say hypothetically Wolves do get that second result over Liverpool twice in a week, right? Does this, I think we could probably agree that Slot is not the long-term future for Liverpool as a manager unless he has a miraculous turnaround, right? I would agree with that. Do you think then the Liverpool hierarchy actually make the call and say, all right, we're going to can him now and go and bring in our replacement?
No, I also don't think they do that. No.
You think they hold?
Well, okay. So yeah, Xabi Alonso has definitely been,
conversations that have happened.
There have been conversations, right? We published a story from a reputable source that states that that is a conversation that is ongoing. They might, if they think Alonso has any chance of being wooed by Man City, then Liverpool may pull the trigger early in order to lock him in. That is a universe I think that is conceivable. In a regular world, no, I think they would stick with Slot and do something over the summer because they know that would they get a bounce out of it? It's not clear. Would it do anything to help their ability to finish in the top 4 of the league? Not obvious. So I don't think they would do that unless they were really keen on Alonso and wanted to lock him in early to prevent Man City from coming along and plucking him. I think that would be the reason those dominoes fall, not anything else.
I'd agree with that. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's move on to Saturday's fixtures. There is an early morning fixture. Mansfield Town.
So, I mean, for me, it's stupidly early. It's really annoying because it's a game I really want to watch.
Mansfield Town against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal are on for the quadruple. I thought the performance yesterday that they played, they won against Brighton with a sort of championship winning performance where they just ground out the result and then just held on. Obviously, there was lots of statistics throwing around that apparently out of the 90 minutes, 30 minutes, the ball was out of play and not actually sort of live because of these time wasting tactics that Arsenal are deploying, obviously supposedly killing the game.
By the way, that was a big narrative. Mm-hmm. That was a big narrative throughout the game. And Hurlitzer was literally standing next to the fourth official with his watch going, "You see how long? Do you see how long? Do you see how long?"
Yeah.
I really genuinely believe that is outrage bait right there. Because I think that if you were to do an analysis of any Premier League fixture, you'd find that there are similar things that happen. Some games are just like that.
Yeah.
And is it deliberate? We all know that Arsenal engages in dark arts and time wasting. Sure, that's fine. There's also so much modern technology that can mitigate that.
They've changed the rules as well. Like they've extended the extra time as well. But it's not uncommon to see 9-10 minutes of extra time now in a half as well, right? This didn't used to happen.
Let's be clear. That is not a rules change. That is just merely a more stringent application of the rules that are already on the books.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's correct. Yes, there was an emphasis on sort of managing this. Yes, but getting back to this,
even with rules changes that have tried to prevent time wasting, for example, the 8-second rule for goalkeepers, right? Because we all know that the old rule was 6 seconds you had to release, where it was an indirect free kick. It was never called. 6 seconds isn't a lot of time. There's and in the 8-second rule, how many times has that been applied this season?
I've seen it once, I don't think. Maybe
twice,
once,
I believe. I believe it has happened twice early on in the season. But here's the deal. Goalkeepers aren't holding on to the ball anymore.
They put it down on the ground and then pick it back up.
They put it down on the ground and then they kick it. And guess what? That's a perfectly valid. So unless you're going to go into a futsal type rule, which is a hard count, that's a very tricky one though, because a player can't sit on the ball. How do you drive to the corner and then try to keep it? I mean, it's a slippery slope that I don't want to get into. But as for the time wasting like that, that's what the fourth official is there for. The fourth official is there to monitor and in their opinion determine, is it really time wasting or is it just normal play? You're going to punish somebody because they don't sprint to go and get the ball when it goes out of play? It's bullshit. People have to reserve their, there's valid reasons for not getting the ball into play quick because it's been hectic. People want a break. I get it. No, I don't think there's any real truth in that. I don't think 30 minutes out of the 90 minutes the ball is out of play. No, sorry.
Yeah. Well,
that's an astronomically high percentage.
It is a lot. That was the narrative being thrown around. But why don't we bring our attention back to the game that's going to go on tomorrow as well? So Mansfield.
There will be lots of time wasting in this game. But I'm going to tell you this: it will not be from Arsenal, because if Mansfield goes up, you're going to see the exact same thing be employed. Okay, Mansfield players are suddenly going to have all sorts of mysterious ailments. They're going to take every opportunity. Of course they are. And Arsenal, they're not going to care, because if they go up one, they're going to go up by multiple, right? Mansfield's hope is for a blank slate, right? To punch early, to draw some blood, and then hold. I mean, there's nothing else they've got. They are there are two to this fifth round FA Cup's testament. There are two League One teams still alive. That's good. It's good to see, right? And Mansfield Town, sitting in 16th place, isn't even the worst of them, right? The Stags are actually doing okay, in their division. we'll talk about the other one later. But yeah, listen, Mansfield Town's had a great run. And they've been at home. They've managed to get the draw at their home stadium all this time. So yeah, Arsenal could totally stumble this one. Right?
This is the magic of the FA Cup that we talk about. Yeah, I was doing some research on this one. I didn't realize Nigel Clough is the manager. He's the son of the famous sort of manager Brian Clough as well. And incidentally, here's another interesting statistic. The last time that Arsenal were knocked out at the 5th round was in the 2012-2013 season, and Mikel Arteta was playing for Arsenal against Blackburn Rovers. So Arsenal have not gone out. Yeah, have not gone out. Well, there we go. Yeah, they have not gone out in the 5th round, so the probability here is very slim. You'd expect Arsenal to have this. However, as you say,
100%.
Home away again, they're probably going to field a bunch of kids as well, just to sort of give everyone
any given Saturday scenario, Gary. Any given Saturday.
Yeah,
it's just so yeah. I would love to see the Stags knock down the Gunners. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any non-Arsenal fan has to be saying, go Stags. Sorry, go Stags.
we definitely, I think everyone will be supporting Mansfield Town on this one for sure. Okay, then moving through to the afternoon fixture as well. This one's a little bit more manageable for you as well. How much you'll be interested in watching it, I don't know, but it is Wrexham, Hollywood FC against Chelsea at Wrexham in Wales. Again, I'm assuming obviously you're going to be screaming for Wrexham to do one over a sort of seems to be a slightly resurgent Chelsea.
My son plays the exact same time. I don't give a shit about Wrexham, no offense, but will I be pulling for the Dragons over the Lions?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. I will always take a Welsh team over an English team, no matter who it is. And whether or not it's Hollywood owned or not Hollywood, or owned by some venture bro. Some venture bro with a bad haircut, I'll take Hollywood over that any day. I'm going all. You've got to go all in on Wrexham. Your opinions about the Hollywood thing, that this or that.
It's a sideshow. It's just a marketing tactic. Yeah.
It is still an unprecedented feat what they have managed to accomplish. And if they do the unthinkable and get promoted to the Premier League, which, by the way, is a possibility.
It'll be 4 seasons in a row if they do get promoted. Is that correct?
No team in any league, in any division, based on my research, has ever done that. Ever. Not from non-league up to the top league. It's just never been done. So you can say whatever you want about Hollywood this, owners that, blah, blah. You still have to do it on the pitch over 40-plus games every season.
The business is being done, and it's being done.
The business is being done. This is legit. This is not a fluke. This is not a joke. There is no conspiracy in officiating or otherwise that is letting Wrexham do this. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. They're doing the business. And if they beat Chelsea, people are. That's going to be an absolute seismic event. It will be a seismic event in the sport across the UK.
Looking at all of these fixtures and looking for sort of where you think the upsets could come, this is the one where I fear that the most likelihood outcome of when I say an upset, a smaller, lesser sort of positioned team beating a large one. And I'll say
it's an upset. This is an upset. This is a team in the lower division upsetting a team in a higher division. Boom.
Absolutely. And I think there's a number of reasons. One is Wrexham is on the upswing, absolutely, as you mentioned as well. They promoted 3 seasons in a row. They're going for 4, going to get in the Premier League. If they don't do it this season, they will probably do it next season as well, just because of the sheer momentum and again, I use the word star power, but I think you know what I mean, just the momentum and the upshift. The concern I have is Chelsea, though, are probably looking to Wednesday's game, which is playing PSG in the Champions League. And so if you're a senior, having just had an incredible result yesterday against Villa, which was an incredible turnaround, admittedly against a form declining Aston Villa, admittedly. But if you're a senior, you have to find that balance of kids versus who are you going to play on against PSG? How do you manage hours and those kind of things? And there is a world where he could get this horribly wrong and play too many young kids, and basically the inexperience comes through and Wrexham do one over on them.
Chelsea have, outside of the standard FA Cup, you want to win the FA Cup. Chelsea have nothing to play for here. Wrexham have everything in the world to play for. The FA Cup matters to them so much more. They're at home. This is the mighty Chelsea. I mean, this is the whole reason why, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney got into this business in the first place. This is, this was
These moments. These are the moments.
This was the moment. They will do everything in their power, right?
Yeah.
Including possibly even turning the hot water off at the state. Who knows what they'll do?
The skullduggery that goes on in these
Who
fixtures,
knows what they're going to do? The grounds people are going to have a field day.
They just spray they
you
grow the grass longer.
You couldn't pay me to be wearing Chelsea blue in Wrexham on that day. I can't even imagine the type of, vitriol they're going to face. Not to mention the sheer challenge of getting there. Lord almighty.
Okay, let's go on to the other Saturday fixture as well, which is an all-Premier League affair. Newcastle are hosting Manchester City.
This is another one where I'm like, really? Again? This is what? Again, the fifth time they've played each other? I don't know.
It keeps coming around. Well, there's lots of games. And now, this is Newcastle beat Manchester United yesterday with quite a sort of quite a good result, actually, and quite a good performance. Newcastle have been sort of, again, like you don't know what Newcastle you're going to get. They're either going to do really well and play really well, or they're just going to sort of flounder, as their league position suggests. But then again, same with Man City as well. Man City have also not been too, although they're sitting in second place and have all these wonderful superstars as well. This is going to be one of those interesting cup games where I think there's going to be lots of goals. I think this is going to be a 4-3 absolute thriller. They're both going to be going for it. I know they've both got Champions League games coming up next week, but they're just going to go for it anyway as well. I think this is, potentially. Is this Pep's last season? Is Eddie Howe still fighting for his job? Are they going to hold on to him? They're going to go for this. Newcastle will absolutely want to go for silverware, and so we'll see how this shakes out.
And in case you're curious, this is the fifth time that they have played each other since November 22nd.
Jesus, wow! And so when did that? What they played each other in the Carabao Cup?
Because they played in the EFL Cup.
Yeah, the Carabao Cup. Yeah, the EFL Cup. Got it. Yeah. Wow. Okay,
it's
so
like,
they know each other well.
Seriously? Come on,
you guys again. You guys
again? No. And Man City have won three out of the four before this one. I mean, so yeah, I do look at this and I'm like, who cares? But at the same time, intriguing story, right? And as you said, Newcastle already beat one Manchester. Why can't they do another one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they'll certainly be keen. And
again,
they Newcastle got a taste of a trophy last season. They want another one. Right?
Indeed. Yeah. No, I think this will definitely be an entertaining game for sure. Okay. And then going on to Sunday's fixtures, there's Fulham against Southampton. Again, sort of, mid-level Premier League team against, a championship side, Southampton, who got relegated last season as well. This one, I don't have too much hope for Southampton, to be perfectly honest. I think Fulham will probably just sort of go and do the business and move on to the next fixture. I may be wrong on that one, but I feel like Fulham should comfortably deliver there.
They should. Again, this is another one of those, Fulham should do that, but shouldn't Fulham have won this week, midweek too? And they didn't. Yep. So there is no guarantee on this, right? I mean, it was because who did they play? They played West Ham. I mean, please, West Ham? I don't know if West Ham is necessarily any better than Southampton. I think they're somewhat comparable. So I don't think this is I call this a coin toss fixture. This is one where it could go either way. Fulham at home gives them a slight edge, I think. If you were going to look at anything, if there's any comfort to be had, it's that they're playing at Craven Cottage, so therefore there's a better chance for them than if they had to travel down to the Stadium of Light.
Yeah, but there's also a bit of history working against them as well, and that is they have been eliminated 7 out of 8 times in the FA Cup against top flight opponents when they've been playing outside of the top division.
That's a
undeniable historical.
That's a tough fact to overcome. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, let's on the next one. I think this is the game you're most looking forward to, Hooligan, is Port Vale Sunderland.
Idea. That one. No idea.
Go on. What is it? Go on, break it down for us.
Listen, Port Vale is the worst team to have made it this far in God knows how long. And I'm not just saying that because they're in, League One. They're in last place in League One. They're going down. They're going down to League Two. I don't think there's anything I don't think there's anything really they can do to save themselves here.
The Wolves of League One, is that it?
And, they played Bristol City on Tuesday. I watched that game, and listen, Bristol City were terrible. They were just simply awful. And I've watched Bristol City play live, and they're a tremendous team with some incredible talent. And Port Vale just stymied them, outplayed them, and their pitch is abysmal. It is not good, and it's going to be even worse after the game that they just played. When you watch it, please watch this, because you'll go, wow, there's a lot of brown on that pitch. Yeah, there's a lot of mud on that pitch. And the ball doesn't fall true. It doesn't bounce true. And Port Vale doesn't give a flying hoo-ha. All right. They are in it to just shock people. Plus this is a bit of a local thing, right? I mean, we're talking two teams from the Northeast, right? So there's a lot of, there's going to be that whole local rivalry thing going on. I love it. I am super excited by this. I don't think Port Vale's magisterial run will continue. I think Sunderland will do the job, because if Sunderland has proved one thing this year, it's that they are no pushovers, right? They've had bad losses. They've not always played great.
We can safely say
more often than not, they deliver when the
this season they've over-delivered. The expectation was they were going to go back down. They've definitely over-delivered for sure.
Please, they had 40 points.
Yeah,
they've never gotten more than 45 in a season ever. They're on target. I mean, all they need is 2 more wins, and they've broken that. So yeah, Sunderland. This is one of those magical seasons for Sunderland, right? And wouldn't lifting an FA Cup be the ultimate? Magic.
Yeah.
That would be getting through ultimate fairy tale.
Oh, it'd be magical. It really would. Yeah.
They'd have to bring back the documentary again, right?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely on a B watch out. Again, this is a banana skin for Sunderland, isn't it? They've got to go here and just get the business done and move on, because this is the kind of thing that can also derail a season, and also sort of like, also really shatter confidence, and form can start slipping from these kind of
there is always that possibility that it could be that, that Sunderland's run is fragile, and that this could shatter it. I don't know. I think they're a little steelier than that, but let's wait and see. See. I think they come out early, get Port Vale in the hole, and then it's a done deal, because that was the biggest problem with Bristol. They just couldn't get, and Port Vale had to wait until the 113th minute, 114th minute with extra time to get their winner. So yeah.
Okay. All right. And then moving on to the next one is Leeds against Norwich. There's a couple of subplots here. Daniel Farke, obviously Leeds manager, is facing his old club, Norwich. So there's a bit of a subplot there as well.
How many times has he brought Norwich up to the Premiership and then been relegated with them? He is the yo-yo of the yo-yo managers. That is for sure.
So Leeds against Norwich. You've got obviously Leeds, who are again doing also relatively well, in fact quite well in the Premier League, similar to Sunderland as well, right? You'd expect them to sort of definitely over-delivered. Norwich, on the other hand, are not going to have a good day. I feel like Leeds are going to be able to just go here and just sort of press on them as well.
They should.
They should, yeah.
They should.
Yeah. The only thing that Norwich have going for them is that they have a player in the name of Anis Ben Silmane. Forgive the pronunciation. He is the leading assist. He's the most amount of assists in the FA Cup this season with 4. So that's something.
They also have a run of form where they've won 8 out of their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, momentum is on their side. I actually think this should be a cracking game. I mean, these are two teams that are very familiar with each other, not just because of the manager connection, but just because they have spent years battling each other in the Championship. So no love lost, right? No love lost, no punches pulled. This should be a 100% adrenaline fueled scrap. I'm excited. I think it's going to be great.
That'll be a good one, yep. And then moving on to the final fixture, West Ham against Brentford. This one,
yeah.
Again, but these are the ones where we both go, meh, but they'll probably turn out to actually be the game of the weekend or the fixture of the weekend.
Just Brentford have that. Brentford and West Ham, to be fair, both have the potential, the star power, the to when they're on, they can play some absolutely gorgeous soccer, right? And then they can just be off sometimes and be the dullest. It's like watching paint dry. Let us hope that it is the former, not the latter, for both sides, right? Yeah, I'd see both teams. Here's the thing: Brentford are safe. There's nothing is going to happen to them. This is in many ways their season. This is their season right now. They've been eliminated from every other competition. They can't really do anything inside the Premier League. Maybe they have an outside shot of sneaking into Europe. If I was the Brentford ownership,
looking at the table right now, I'd be.
I wouldn't want that. It
seems to be a poison.
You're not ready for it.
It's a curse, isn't it?
No, it is a curse. Look what happened.
It's a curse.
So what happened to Palace? They're suffering because of it.
Second season syndrome. Yeah,
I think Brentford realistically says this might be our chance. This could, let's put everything we have into this one. West Ham, on the other hand, are fighting for survival. Right? Do they really care about the FA Cup? If I was Nuno, I wouldn't. I'd be like, hell no, man. Focus on the league. You got to keep your eyes on the league because staying up right now is more important than anything else.
And that's an interesting question. If you'd asked a West Ham fan, would you rather stay up or go down and win the FA Cup? And I think 10 out of 10 would say stay up, right? Stay up. We can always do the 100%. FA Cup next season. Yeah,
100%.
You're in a world of pain if you get relegated as well, just financially and all these kind of things as well. So it can also be a distraction, more games, potential injuries. It's unlikely. So if West Ham lose this one, again, it's a dangerous one because if they lose it, that could sort of feed into the negativity and sort of the good run of form that they've started to put together. But again, do they maybe play the kids, both of them, and say, hey, we'll sort of prioritize the Premier League here? So
I don't think either side is going to play the kids. I think they're gonna actually take it seriously enough to give their starters up because neither one of them have any midweek fixtures, right? So they get a little bit of a pause. Then they've got, 2 more games and then they've got an international break. So like from a personnel management perspective, this fixture doesn't present any real challenges for them. Whereas teams like Newcastle, right? Manchester, Arsenal, Chelsea, they're all facing
expectations.
They're all facing not only expectations, they're inside title races, but they're also in the Champions League and doing other things like that, which are lucrative and important. So no, it's far more difficult for them to try and pull these fixtures out than these mid-level teams who are going, great, let's just go out and have a cracking game. And, if we make it, good, we'll just keep on going to the next one. Sure, why not?
Yeah. The one thing I do like about, when I say about what I've noticed as well is in terms of the structure of the fixtures, you've got quite a few Premier League teams actually playing each other. Obviously, it's the FA Cup 5th round, so they get there. So, which means there's going to be quite a few knocked out as well. So there is a world in which you do get some of these lower league teams, the League One teams, the Championship teams, actually sort of getting through to the quarters, possibly even the semis. And then once you're in the semis, you're just 90 minutes away from it, and you can get to the final, and then it's a whole different world. Yeah. So
you're right. You've got what? Right? There's eight fixtures, 16
fixtures. Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them.
Yeah.
Are non-Premier League. That's a good percentage. It's a good percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say, and there, as we've mentioned, there are two good chances for upsets. But in every one of those fixtures, it's not a lower league team playing another lower league team.
That's it. Yeah.
So that's where it gets fun because all of a sudden 3 of those lower league teams have a good day. That, And that quarterfinal round suddenly becomes very interesting.
It could be fun. It could be fun indeed. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, Hooligan, as always, thank you. We will be back, obviously, with more episodes, but as always, hooligan-soccer.com. Go and check it out. Until next time, thank you very much. Speak to you later.
Peace.